हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. We'll sing song. Srila Rupa Goswami. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Gokula Tarani Mandala Mahite Gokula Tarani Mandala Mahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Damodara Rati Vardhana Veshe Hari Nishkuta Vrinda Vipineshe Damodara Rati Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Gokula Tarani Mandala Mahite Rishabhanudadhi Navashashilekhe Lalita Sakhi Guna Ranita Vishakhe Rishabhanudadhi Navashashilekhe Lalita Sakhi Guna Ranita Vishakhe Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Gokula Tarani Mandala Mahite Karunam Kuru Mai Karuna Bhadite Sanaka Sanakana Varnita Charite Karunam Kuru Mai Karuna Bhadite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Gokula Tarani Mandala Mahite Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीपीटी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवियर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड श्रील प्रभुपाद की। एवं विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती भक्त सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की। मथुरापुरी धाम की। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की। श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की। गंगा मैया की। यमुना मैया की। भक्ति देवी की। श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा गोपाल की। श्री श्री गौर निताय की। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. The meaning of the song is: O Radha, O beloved of Madhava, O you who are worshipped by all the young girls of Gokul, all glories unto you, all glories unto you. You who dress yourself in such a way as to increase Lord Damodar's love and attachment to you, O Queen of Vrindavan, which is the pleasure brow of Lord Hari. O new moon that has arisen from the ocean of King Vrishabhanu, O friend of Lalita, O you who make Vishakha loyal to you due to your wonderful qualities of friendliness, kindness and faithfulness to Krishna. O you who are filled with compassion, O you whose divine characteristics are described by the great sages Sanak and Sanatan, O Radha, please be merciful to me. श्रीमती राधा रानी की जय। श्रील रूप गोस्वामी पाद की जय। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Welcome to our evening discussion on the topic of kitchen etiquettes. corner देखें। So welcome to our evening discussion on the topic of kitchen etiquettes. Kitchen is the department of Srimati Radharani because she is very famous for cooking for Lord Krishna. She cooks n number of items, unlimited items. It is said that not a single item she makes ever, she repeats. Every time new only. So as long as you stay in this material world, you are missing many items cooked by Srimati Radharani. So be wise and quickly purify your heart and let us go back to Golok Vrindavan and relish the items which Srimati Radharani cooks for Krishna after Krishna honors, and we are the ones who could relish. When Gopkumar reaches Shri Golok Vrindavan Dham, then one day, because his name is Sarup in Golok Vrindavan, he is one of the relatives of Srimati Radharani. So naturally, Krishna loves Radharani. He is also very close, intimate with Krishna. Thus, once when Krishna, Balram, others were sitting, and Srimati Radharani had cooked so many varieties of foodstuffs, they were being offered by Yashoda Mata to Krishna, Balram. So they were enjoying feast. So towards the end, the laddus, which are called as Manohar laddus, were sent through Yashoda Mai by Radharani. So they were in a bowl. When Krishna got the Manohar laddus, so Radharani was watching from a distance. So he picked up one, and she was careful to see whether how he likes. So as he put in the mouth, he kept it back, and he brushed the bowl towards Sarup, saying that you take it, I don't like it. So Radharani felt, wow, my God, I did a great mistake, blunder. Maybe instead of sugar, I might have added salt only. Some blunder has happened. Now what to do? So then Sarup took that laddu, Manohar laddu, and he put in the mouth, and he was like, wow, very bold. And he took one more, and he was relishing. Then Radharani understood, hey, this is cunning Krishna. He is pretending that my laddus are very bad, but actually they are wonderful laddus, Manohar laddus, man ko harne wale laddus. So she was very disturbed, saying, so Krishna does like this. When Durvasa Muni came to Varshana, all the young girls, they all ran away, being fearful that Durvasa becomes angry, I will be cursed, who will be cursed? So they all ran away, except Radharani, who very nicely, graciously welcomed Durvasa Muni. Please, my dear sage, come and have a seat, and I will cook for you. Just wait for a while. And she went and she cooked such wonderful items, so many items. Durvasa had a great feast. Durvasa is famous for taking only Durva grass, ras. That is one meaning, Durva. Durva, you know, that green grass, one particular. So he takes only that ras, nothing else. But he got such a huge, nice, wonderful, tasty feast. He was very happy. And that time he blessed Srimati Radharani. That whatever you cook will be so delicious, people will keep licking at their fingers, and anybody who eats it will be very healthy, will never grow old. As soon as this benediction she got, the news spreads very quickly all over. The news reached Nandagaon to the ears of Yashoda Mai, and immediately she sent message to Kirtida Mataji that is it possible that Radharani come every day to Nandagaon and she can cook for Malala, Krishna. Then Kirtida Mata was in love with Yashoda Mai. She said, yes, why not? Definitely. So every day Yashoda Mai, every day Kirtida Mataji would send one devotee, one lady or somebody with Yashoda Mai, with Radharani, who would walk all the way from Barsana to Nandagaon. And on the bank of Pavan Sarovar, there was a huge kitchen setup, very huge, with all the vessels, stoves, and cooking foodstuffs, items, so that she can cook. And every day she would cook, then they would be served by Yashoda Maya and Rohini Maya to Krishna, and Krishna would have a wonderful feast. So one of her 25 qualities is she is the best cook, Radharani. So that's why kitchen is called to be her department. One should not think that this is my kitchen. That is foolishness. Only Srimati Radharani's kitchen, where she cooks for Krishna, and we only assist her. The whole of deity worship is that Guru worships their lordships and we are only humble assistants. That is the understanding. Not that I do everything. Shri Vigrahara Dhanna Nitya Nana Shringara Tanmandira Marjanadau Yuktasya Bhaktamsha Niyunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. So spiritual master is doing Shri Vigraha Aradhan. He is worshipping the deities. Shringar, he decorates the deities. Shri Vigraha Aradhana Nitya Nana. Always varieties of Shringar, Nitya Nana, Shringara Tat Mandir Marjanato. And he is cleaning the temple area also, altar and other areas. And then he engages his disciples also. Yuktasya Bhaktamscha Niyunjato api. Some devotees say Nayunjato api. He never engages his disciples in the services because they will make more advancement and he will be in trouble. The disciples will go ahead of the spiritual master. So it is not like that. Niyunjato. He engages. Yuktasya Bhaktamscha. Yuktasya, not Uktasya. 7th verse says Uktasya. Uktas tatha bhavyate eva sadbi. It is stated, spoken in the scriptures and by previous sages in the past. So we should learn the pronunciation also. Yuktasya, yukta, to connect, to engage. So that is the spiritual master's responsibility. So Krishna is the enjoyer of the foodstuffs cooked by Srimati Radharani in her kitchen. That's why many times in the kitchen we are supposed to write Srimati Radharani's kitchen. Nice on whatever A4 and then nicely laminated. Do you have it here? So who is kitchen in charge? So you can put it. Take a printout, nice font, big, huge. Srimati Radharani's kitchen. And make it plastic laminated. Put it at the entrance point or inside somewhere. So that everybody knows and is reminded that this is not my area. This is Radharani's kitchen. So one should know that. And one has to be very reverential when he enters the kitchen. Just like in altar, we are very reverential because their lordships are there. So extension of the altar only is the kitchen, where the foodstuffs are cooked for getting offered in altar to their lordships. So thus it is just an extension only. So as much as gravity we have in altar, that much gravity we should ideally have in kitchen also. So sincerity is very important part of deity worship. So cleanliness, punctuality and sincerity. These are the three most vital aspects of deity worship as taught by Srila Prabhupada to Mother Shilavati. And she taught to Her Grace Ladini Mataji. That is there in the book Legacy of Love. So some etiquettes are there as mentioned in the Vaishnava etiquette book. I will just discuss. The kitchen is an extension of the altar because whatever is cooked there will be offered to the deities. So whatever one is doing in the kitchen should be done with care and attention for the deities. So ideally one should not speak too much also. So that's what everything. Yesterday you saw it slows down. So he's translating now. That is okay. There are only 4, and he asked me and I told. Translation is going on for and I'm also not so good in Hindi. So then little struggle goes on. So you'll have to help me. So it's going on. The kitchen is an extension of the altar because whatever is cooked there will be offered to the deities. So whatever one is doing in the kitchen should be done with care and attention for the deities. Care should be taken, you should take care. And attention should be there. Vando mui savadhanamate. In all devotional activities one should be very cautious, very careful, very attentively one should do. That's a sign of mode of goodness. And that is also very pleasing. Because one is offering one's mind through attention. Giving attention means what? Doing it mindfully, carefully. Thus, that is most pleasing to Krishna. Mayyeva manadasya mayi buddhim niveshaya nivashasyasya mayyeva atavurdhvam na samshaya. Just fix your mind on me, O Arjun, Krishna says in 12.8. So anytime we give attention in any devotional activity that we do, that is most pleasing to Krishna. The activity in itself is very dear, but more than that, when you offer your mind while offering that particular service, that's why mind should always be there. Absent-mindedly we should not do. And also another sign of doing it with attention is seriousness is also there. One knows that this is not my area. I'm allowed here. I'm not fit to enter in this area, but their lordships are they are very kind. They are allowing me. Where the deities are formally installed, as in the temple, standards expected are quite high and strict. In comparison, some degree of concession may be offered in respect of household deities, where it is not possible to maintain the same standard. For example, it is a rule that one should not eat in the kitchen or in front of the deities. However, in many homes, the altar, kitchen, and dining table are all in one room, so it may not be possible to follow the above rules. When we are honoring person also, we should not honor directly here. We close the curtains in case all the devotees are going to take. Otherwise, we go out and take. But as it is said, small setup of Grahastha house, so there it may not be possible. Then it is okay. But otherwise, one should follow in temple and all. One should try to follow as strictly as possible. That shows like in front of the master we cannot take. So that's why we are not supposed to eat when the altar is open. We should close the altar. Then master is like after eating he is taking rest. Then the servants can eat. Servants eat quite at the end of the whole thing after master has eaten. But in front of the master, servant cannot take. Likewise, one should not do that. Householders, however, should keep the ideal standard in mind and try to come as close to it as possible in their particular situation. One should always remember that one is cooking for Krishna. The more one can become conscious that one is not cooking for oneself, but for Lord Krishna himself. This is very important. Many times we just are making traveling prasad announcements. How many devotees are going to take prasad? Beforehand only, if Krishna has not been offered that, so we use language like this. So we should try to avoid. Madhavendra Puri's pastime is very famous. When he was at Remuna and inquired that what kind of foodstuffs are offered to Gopinath here. Then through the Pujari he came to know here the very special kheer is offered to the Lord called Amrit Keli. Then he thought if only I could get to test little bit of this Amrit Keli kheer, I would know the taste and then I could cook for my Gopal in Vrindavan. Because the expert cooks, just by testing, they understand what might be the ingredient. Okay, this much sweet and this much sugar, and I think there is this also, atta also. And this. They understand just by testing only. So he, in that way, thought of testing. But then that was the time the altar closed for offering of bhoga. He felt very bad that even before Lord has eaten, I thought of eating. This is very bad. He remained there till the altar opened after the offering and Aarti he attended. Then at once he left. He did not beg for prasadam anything. He went in the empty market area. Alone kept chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Accusing himself. What a disgrace. And even before Lord had honored prasad, I thought of eating. So he was going to fast that day. Anyway, he had ayachita vritti. He would not beg. If somebody came of his own accord and gave him some prasad, he would accept. Otherwise, he would fast. And he would feast on holy name. That was his standard. Ayachita vritti. No begging. And that day, offense happened according to him. That even before Lord ate, he thought of eating. So no question of eating. But then Lord was concerned. Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. How can my devotee go hungry? And that too his desire is very pure. He wants to feed me only in Vrindavan in the form of Gopal. So why not? That's a pure desire. There is no desire to do any sense gratification. So I have Lord stole one kheer and through the pujari he offered it. But we should not think of eating before the bhoga is offered. Once in my college days, somewhere in 97, 98, we students, when we would go to temple, because there are few brahmacharis only, and we would also be so many of us, Sunday or something. So many chapatis would be required. Number has increased, and there are not so many assistants in temple. Brahmacharis are very less. So we boys only would roll chapatis, and roasting brahmachari would do, but making atta and then especially making the golas, rolling the chapatis, we would do. So once I was rolling with 1-2 more devotees. The previous evening I had not eaten dinner somehow. That was skipped. So I was hungry. So while rolling only, I told my friend that yesterday night I did not take anything. So I something about food. I said something. I don't know what. Immediately the head cook from inside. He was inside the kitchen. He came out. He said, "Immediately leave this place." And I was shocked. What happened? He said, "You are thinking of eating food, so you are not qualified. Leave." I said, "No, not like that. He said, "No, leave it." And he was very strict, Bengali. So then I kept the roller down and I left that place. And the other two friends, they managed. So he was very strict because that time everything cooked in the kitchen would be offered to the deities also, because there are less devotees. Standards were not so high. Now for devotees for the Lord exclusively foodstuffs are cooked. That is called a deity kitchen in the true sense. And where for devotees mass level it is made, they call it a devotee kitchen. So now these two are separated, but in those years there were less devotees. So everything cooked in the kitchen would be first offered to the deities, and after offering is done, then the brahmacharis and other residents would take. Thus the caution should be maintained that we should not think of eating without or before it is offered to the Lord. Only clean, uncontaminated clothes must be worn in the kitchen. Clothes that have been used outside or in the bathroom cannot be used. Anyway, every day we wear fresh clothes. Thus, in temple also, in the kitchen also, it is best that those who go for cooking, they take bath before and they wear fresh clothes and then they enter. Ideal. So that very fresh clothes are fresh and fresh cooking can be done. No contamination happens. Fingernails should be clean and clipped. How many of you cut your fingernails once in a fortnight? Is in 15 days? How many of you cut once in a year? Once in a month. Once in a year. Once in a month. Okay. Depends on growth, but generally speaking, once in a fortnight at least. How many of you cut every week? Yeah, great souls are there. Maybe the growth is different, but it is good to cut them regularly and keep them clean, because as they grow, then inside the dirt goes and it doesn't come out so easily. Some people in the classroom they do all the cleaning work. You might be having some friends there. That is one of the bad habits. So we should not join that club. Nail cleaning during class, 2-in-1, multitasking. That is not required. Better cut the nails every week or every fortnight. Hands must be washed upon entering the kitchen before beginning cooking. So though we have taken bath, still we might have touched here and there. We might have opened the door of the kitchen. So thus your hands are again unclean. So you have to better wash. In the temple, bath must be taken before cooking. At home, it is preferable to do so. At home also, if this could be followed, very good. If not, maybe okay. But temple, better that is done. In fact, after entering in kitchen, washing hand, then one should do Achman. Mother Yamuna was taught personally by Srila Prabhupada how to do cooking. Because when Janki, her elder sister, was getting married to Mukunda in New York, so she came from the other, I think, west coast to east coast, because her sister is getting married. So sister had difficulty to wear sari. Somehow in some Indian store she purchased sari, and many pins she put, because the sari will slip off otherwise and it will look so odd. So she was struggling with that, but here her sister, there are nobody to assist Srila Prabhupada for the marriage. He is the one who is getting them married as a sannyasi, and for cooking he has no assistant. So he asked her, could you please assist me in kitchen, in cooking, because your sister's marriage we have feast. She said, yes, why not? Swami is going to cook for my sister's marriage. So she came and she was about to start, then Prabhupada said, wash your hands. Though she was very new, she was wearing that kind of western dress and all that. And in between, when she was making chapati or something, then she said, Swamiji, can I smoke? Then Prabhupada said, not here, go outside the kitchen. Then she went, she smoked, she came inside, Prabhupada said, wash your hands again. So how much Prabhupada was considerate, because he knows that she is addicted to smoking, so he cannot say no. So he allowed her, but outside. So devotees are very liberal. So she was taught eventually, because she surrendered to Prabhupada. proper taught her. So doing Achman and then saying entire what you call pranam mantras, not the short ones. All Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj, Jagannathas Babaji Maharaj, all that you know, na? Namo Gaura Kishoraya, Sakshad Vairagya, all those prayers. Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Gopinath, Radha Govindev, Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam, all those prayers. And she would do services, whatever, kitchen, cooking, etc. Along with that, by the end of the offering, kitchen is already clean simultaneously. What we do, we are told to cook, we only cook and leave behind a mess in that kitchen. All the dirty stuff there, peeled off things and unwashed vessels and all that. That next devotee will do. Wind up team, cleaning team. It's not my department. Like that we are quite official, not so putting our heart. But she, by the end of the offering, kitchen is completely clean, spick and span, very clean, very pure. So like that one should be. One should not put anything in one's mouth in the kitchen. One should not rinse one's mouth in the kitchen sink. In particular, one should not taste or smell a preparation to test it. Like yesterday I was in Prabhuji's house, so they gave me. So I was don't know what standards they follow. So my jhuta glass, jhuta means it was empty only, washed earlier, but whether we were supposed to take in the kitchen or not. But they said wash here, so I washed. So after at the end, then what to do? Anyway, after milk we are not supposed to rinse. But then hesitation, because what standards we don't know. So we are not supposed to do that. Grihasthas may not have so many facilities, but in temple, there's no question of rinsing your mouth in that kitchen area. That is exclusively Radharani's department. No question of anybody doing anything nonsense there. One has to be very, very careful. In particular, one should not taste or smell a preparation to test it. Yes, this is another bad habit. In the childhood, you might have seen our mother and all that. One way of testing whether the foodstuff is cooked or not is to press it, rice and all that. Some other ladies, what they do, they put in the mouth. Okay. That's another way, but that is not good. At least we should not do that here. When I would go home, I would take in my grandmother's house. So after my aunt would cook, I would be offering. So I would offer and I would wait for 5-10 minutes. Meanwhile, my cousin sister would come, small girl. So she would tell her mother that I am hungry, can I take food? And she said, no, offering is going on. Your brother has offered, wait for a while. She said, no, I am very hungry. And she would run towards the pot and I would catch her like anything. Hey, come on. And she would be crying, no, I want to eat. And I had to apply all my force. And I wait for 5 minutes. After I remove bhoga offering, then you can take. Somehow, very heavily I would catch her and then somehow done. So nobody should test. She was a small girl, that is different. But we are grown up. We should not test before Lord has tested it. Otherwise it becomes offense. Where possible, there should be no eating or drinking in the kitchen area. We should not eat anything there. We should not even drink water there. Go outside the door, outside the kitchen. If this is unavoidable, the curtain in front of the deities must be drawn. That much can be done. If there is, in Grihasthas particularly, there is lack of space. Grihasthas will have 2 BHK, 3 BHK, but still so much facility not. In temple, how many BHK? Means in a sense, kitchens are so many and a lot of spacious it is. So there it is possible to follow the highest standards. The vessels in which bhoga is cooked for the deities in particular, and the plates and the cups in which bhoga is offered should be kept and washed separately from the plates, cups and glasses in which the family devotees eat or drink. So there are cooking vessels, and there are serving vessels and eating vessels. 3 categories. But it depends, such high standard may not be possible for Grihastha. You understand, no? Cooking vessels, in which only cooking, and you cannot take it outside the kitchen. Then we have serving vessels will be brought, and you pour from cooking vessels into serving vessels. And then cooking vessels can be washed in kitchen. Then serving vessels will be taken and they will be used for serving, spoon and all that. And they will be served in our plates, our glasses, which are jhuta in one sense. So this is separate. For our washing of plates, one sink, like we have here I think common. And for serving vessel washing, another sink, another area. You cannot wash here only. And for DT, the paraphernalia in which the cooking vessels, they are washed in DT kitchen or devotee kitchen, whatever. You understand? So much ideal, this is all ideal. Now in Grihasthas it will be difficult, house is small. If one has an infectious disease, one should not work in the kitchen area, as one may contaminate the bhoga and the vessels. In case sometimes, especially hand, but even otherwise also, one need not be there. If any kind of injury happens, blood is coming, one is not supposed to worship the deities, decorate them or offer bhoga. He should tell other pujari, because somehow on the way sometimes it may happen. If one touches the floor of the dustbin or the lower part of one's body, one should wash one's hands. Extreme cleanliness. When I first time after Brahman Diksha, when I went inside on Balram Jayanti 2001 in the altar, so the training was given. Anyway, you should not touch the floor only, of altar also. For dressing the deities, Radha Kunjavari Gaurnita, we climb on the altar. Understand? Where the acharyas are there, one step, and then next one step and one more. So we go to the highest step, but we cannot keep our feet there. So we put towel over there, or sometimes cushions are there. So on that we climb. And then also, though the altar is already clean, after Mangalarti, they clean the altar thing. So though it is clean, if you happen to touch the floor of that altar top, then also you have to immediately do achman, like this you have to do. So the pujaris become very fast, cut. Anything here and there they touch below the waist, immediately they will do achman. Thus, extreme level of cleanliness should be there. There was one devotee, associate of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Raghav Pandit. He was very famous for his cleanliness. In his house, once the home deities, there was one pujari, devotee, who would offer. He brought coconuts, fresh coconuts from the bagicha, from the garden they had. They were very nice. He brought them, but while bringing, he happened to touch that portion of the door, top, what do you call that? Threshold is there, the top portion. Somehow he touched there, and with that only he touched the coconuts. When Raghav Pandit saw this, he could not tolerate. So all the coconuts are contaminated. He said, throw them all, because you touched the ceiling of that entry door of the altar. Now you see, the door, lower portion of the door, it will be having dust and all that. But he thought people keep going in and out of the altar. So the dust gets raised and it will stick to the ceiling, and this fellow touched there. And those hands he touched to the coconuts, all coconuts are spoiled. Because cleanliness is not maintained. So he said, throw them all. And then he went far off place, because there were not enough coconuts here then. He went in the market somewhere far and bought new ones. And those with extreme caution were offered to the Lord. And then he was satisfied. So very high standard of cleanliness. There is something called as cleanliness phobia also, which we should not have. Like, you touch, I will go and take bath. So much is not required. But he was having love for Krishna deities, so he would follow such high standards. There should be no unnecessary talking in the kitchen. There should be kirtan going on. If possible, maybe lecture can also go on, and that can be heard. Kirtan is good maybe because concentration is difficult in the kitchen. There is noise of the vessels, cooking items. Some noise is there. So better than kirtan then. And the pujaris, the cooks, they should be very, very Krishna conscious. They should not be absent-minded. When I was in Warangal, Raishamru said, take care of cooks also. So then every day in the afternoon, I would read Chaitanya Charitamrita for them. So I would read, like that I would hold, English Chaitanya Charitamrita. So English is also there, shloka. The Bangla shloka is in English, and Bangla is also there. So the Bengali cook would read directly Bangla when I am reciting the English version. Same shloka is there. So he understands. And then I would explain the meaning. And like that I would daily take CC class for the cook. Because his consciousness is all that matters. Who has cooked foodstuffs matters a lot. Once one lady who happened to hear some katha in the village of a sadhu. So sadhu said we should invite sadhus to home and give them nice offer prasad, bhoga to the Lord, and prasad should offer. By the blessings of the sadhus one makes a lot of advancement. So she was very interested, very inspired. She invited, one sadhu came to village next day only. So she said, Sadhu Maharaj, could you please come to my house? He said, okay. Then when he went there, he was shocked because she had thatched hut and her clothes were old and torn, but the foodstuffs cooked were very high class. I'm wondering, it's a mismatch. It reveals her poverty through by seeing her dwelling, her thatched hut, which is not so good, and her clothes are also not good. But how foodstuffs are? But anyway, because he's invited, he honored the prasadam. After he honored, he washed his hands and all. He thanked the lady, thank you Mataji, and then he left that house. He went outskirts of the village to go to the next village. Suddenly he heard somebody shouting behind, Maharaj, Maharaj, wait, Maharaj, wait. And then he looked back and he saw that same lady was there. He was wondering, what is that? If she had to say something, she would have said in the house only, na? Why now? Maybe forgot. So she came and, Maharaj, just one thing I want to ask. He said, what? He was wondering that she would ask there only. But okay, what is that? Could you just check in your bag whether the plate in which I had offered you prasadam, whether by mistake you might have kept it in the bag. He was shocked. What is this? Why? I never came to your house to take the plate. I am not a thief to steal and all that. Means he thought all that, and she had very humbly requested. Then he thought, okay, no. So he opened the bag, and sure enough, there was that same plate. He was shocked. By the way, first he took it out and gave it to her. And she said, no problem, by mistake it might have gone. Thank you. She was leaving. He said, wait a minute, my dear lady. That I saw your thatched hut is not in good condition. Your clothes are so dirty and torn. But the feast you offered me was so high class. May I know, where did you get this feast ingredients from? Then her head went down. She said, Maharaj, yesterday I heard from sadhus that we should offer nice prasadam to sadhus. So I am poor lady, but I had this sincere desire. So I went in one house, I stole some rice. I went to other house, I stole some dal there. I went to third house, stole some that I stole from various houses, and then I cooked and offered to the Lord and offered to you. He said, now I understand, because you, though for whatever reason, sincerely, but you stole everything, so the thief's mentality was inside you, and with that mentality you cooked the food. So because of that, your mentality went in my consciousness by eating that food subtly, and thus, though this never happened in my life, so many houses I went, I never kept the plate in my bag. First time it happened because you did like that. So please, madam, Mataji, please don't do this. Give simple food stuff, but don't steal like that. So then she understood. So you see, whosoever cooks, that mentality comes. We have even heard that once one lady had a very bad thing. Husband and wife fought like anything, and the lady was very angry. The husband was very angry, and then he left, and the baby started crying. She took and breastfed the child, and after that the child died. Then when the postmortem and everything was done, then it was found that her breast milk had turned into poison, and the child died. Why? Because of extreme anger. So the milk is the love of the mother for the child, but then because of the extreme anger, that happens. Similarly, if somebody is sick in the house, the cow which maintained by the grahastha, the cow goes in the forest and eats particular vanaspatis, vegetables and all that, so that milk, when fed to the child will be cured of the disease. Because she is also mother, na? Cow is one of the mothers. So she knows that in the house there is a child who is sick. So she eats particular vegetables, what you call plants, and then that converts the milk into kind of medicine also. So thus consciousness matters a lot. Prabhupada said that Krishna consciousness, inner consciousness matter. Externally what we do is superficial. Most important is consciousness. Why you do what you do and with what consciousness you do. That's why the cooks have very high responsibility. Ideally prasad means cooked by devotees, offered to the Lord by devotees, and even served by devotees. I think morning we discussed, no? Yeah. So we have to make sure. We cannot eat any foodstuff cooked in the outside world. Sometimes in the plane, the air hostess, she gives something. So sometimes those who book plane ticket for me, they have that foodstuffs. So I take it and I offer in the mind and I give it to beggars and all that. Whatever. I don't take. Or sometimes that bottle is there. What they call milkshake, badam milkshake, something like that. So we never take it. Though we may say it is very sealed one. Directly from factory, it has come. You can offer to Krishna and milkshake, you will be shaken up. So don't take it. We should not take preferably such things. And sometimes those foodstuffs may have onion, garlic. like sevai and some foodstuffs, they have it. They are written also, ingredients in that they write onion garlic. Once in my college days I purchased for our wife's cooking only sevai, and I came from the shop, entered in the voice, and just little curiosity, I just saw the ingredient and it was written there onion or garlic something. I was shocked. Hey, what is this? Then immediately I went down again to the shop and said, sir, I cannot take this. Here there is onion garlic there. Something else you have? Then other brand was there. Then I checked. It was not. Then we took it. Best is ideally that also we should only cook. This sevai. If you must have seen in the villages, ladies, whichever season, summer or something, they will put that, in the directly sunlight, they will put it right up, and that is all. So that is the best, papad and everything. Many times we purchase ready-made papad, lijjat papad, this papad, that papad. हमारा ही पापड़ हो जाएगा, ले जाएंगे हम. So better avoid. Everything homemade is very good. Similarly, cakes, there may be egg in that, or ice cream. Best is to cook ourselves only. Ice cream. There are machines and all that. In our temple, we take sugarcane juice in summer season. In kitchen we have for Brahmachari ashram. That is taken twice, thrice a week, 4:30 in the evening, 4:30 to 5:30, sugarcane juice. And brahmacharis are like, their life is so juicy, especially sugar. And anyway, if sugarcane juice is not there, then there is lemon juice, there is kokum juice, and I don't even know because I don't take all those juices. I take only sugarcane juice. Because Rupa Goswami says that sugarcane juice should be taken in NOI, Pittopataptarasanasya narochikan kintvadaradanuddinam khalu saiva jushva swadvikramad bhavati tadgadamulahanti. Anyway, that is recommended for those who develop pilia. What is it called? Jaundice. Yeah, for those who have jaundice. But he said that jaundice is compared to the ignorance, pitta increasing. So then one should continuously chant holy name, which is as sweet as sugarcane juice. So I did not understand that verse properly, so I thought sugarcane juice is recommended. So I definitely take it. So that I will be able to chant holy name with all sweetness like that. So there should not be any unnecessary talking in the kitchen. Only just related to service. Similarly, in the altar also, same thing. Pujari should softly speak in case there is a requirement. They can just indicate. So the devotee will get caught up. Because when the devotees are undressed, the pujaari is not supposed to leave them in that condition. So he can take help of some other assistant. The cooking platform, stove, sink, etc. should be cleaned up before and after cooking. So before and after. There are very high class standards. These standards will bring us to the mode of goodness. Generally we are in passion and ignorance. We are very dirty, very unclean. Just like those hippies, when Prabhupada, they would come to Prabhupada's matchless gift shop where Prabhupada was staying. So they would just eat, half the food goes in the stomach and half is just scattered in the plate is remaining and on the floor it is remaining. They would just all leave. Prabhupada at the end would clean everything. And he has to clean the the vessels in which the foodstuffs are cooked, and these boys and girls plates also, and temple hall also. So everything should be clean. As much as cleanliness you follow, that much you are Brahminical, and that much your mind will be not scattered and dirty. It will be very much concentrated, very much focused in chanting. All these things cumulatively affect our next day's chanting. That's why extreme, very high degree of cleanliness should be maintained. One should work carefully but efficiently and avoid cluttering. Carefully may make it slow, but it should not be so slow that your cooking goes on for 5 hours. It should get over into 3 hours max. Anything that has fallen to the floor cannot be put on the tables. If a vegetable falls on the floor, it may be washed and then used. One must not, and if you see the transportation of the vegetables in the market, in the lorry where all the vegetables are, on that person will sit with his chappals. How many of you see? So ideal is you grow your own vegetables in your farm. Yes. Flowers also. Anantacharya was sent to Tirumala hills by Ramanujacharya. Because Balaji is very famous for wearing flower items, flower garlands and flowers. But there was nobody to look after Balaji's needs. There was nothing there, no flowers for him. So then he asked in a meeting to all the disciples, who will go? somebody needs to go. So then nobody was ready to go because it was very secluded area. Tigers would be there in those years, 1000 years back. So then Anantacharya raised hand. He said, Guru Maharaj, I will go. His wife was pregnant. Can you imagine? Wife is pregnant and he is going with his wife up the hill to make a garden. And he was making also. And he would dig the earth for tilling the land. Then he would put it in that vessel. And wife would pick it up and throw it somewhere. So Balaji felt compassion that pregnant lady is doing such hard. No, first he went to Anantacharya. He came as a small boy. Said, please, I will help. And he said, no, get lost. This is my service to my Lord. So then he thought, okay, wife is pregnant, let me help. So he asked, mother, please give me. I will help you. She said, no, my husband will be very angry. No need to worry. He said, no, okay, then you do one thing. You take the thing, mud and all that, and bring it up to some level where your husband cannot see. Then you hand me over. I will throw it all far away. And then I will give you. Then you go. So he will never know that somebody is assisting you. So he thought, okay, no problem. But then what happened when they started that, the action became fast. Because she was pregnant, she walked slowly. Whereas this boy goes very fast. So that much time is reduced. So overall, the husband understood something fishy is here. And then he went once without her knowledge to check what happens. And sure enough, she was handing over to that boy. Then he ran after the boy with some spade or whatever he had. The boy ran, he threw that and it hit Balaji on the chin. And it was bleeding. And he entered in the altar. And they opened the altar and they saw Balaji's cheek was bleeding there. And his chin was bleeding. So then they applied chandan. You must have seen they apply. This is past time. And that thing with which he was hit, that is also there. Anybody has seen? Nobody has seen. You can see it is hanged there only. That Anantacharya threw at him. So that is also preserved for so many 1000 years or over. So what was the point? Grow vegetables. So have farm community. Similarly, milk also. We don't know what is A2, A3, A1, whatever. So better to have our own Goshala. Traditionally, every temple would have so many cows donated by people. You see, Gopalji, as he was installed on the top of Govardhan, what happened? People gave land. People built temple also there immediately, and afterwards better temple, best temple. But apart from that, cows were donated, lands are donated, foodstuffs are that every what is it called? Season starts in winter, I think. So all the people, they get their first crop and they offer in the temple, and the deities are offered first rice or whatever that gehu. So ideally, Lord should have his own fields also. Every day morning, one is supposed to give report to the Lord. Oh Lord, for you now 5 more acres of land has been given, so and so, and now you have 55 acres of land, and for you some donation is given, and this is offered, cows are given, offered, something like that. So all reporting has to be done because they are the masters of the temple and all others are servants. You can see Ghanshyam Baba had that mood so wonderfully, that you are the friend of Gopijana Vallabh and I am only their servant. So how can a servant be taking anything when the friend of the master has come? So you enjoy. May you have unlimited enjoyment. One must not enter the kitchen straight after using the toilet unless one has taken a bath. So anyway, in general also, if you go to toilet, then one has to take bath because the whole body is contaminated. Mahaprasadam should not be eaten directly from the deity's plate, but it should be transferred to another vessels or plate before being eaten. The temple standard is that one should not begin eating until the deity's plates have been washed. So it's not like, bhoga is offered now it is prasad, so let us take. No, we have to wait. The pujari will wash. That's why sometimes for whatever reason, after 4:25 in the afternoon or morning, let's say, when the offering comes out, the devotees are given that offering, but they don't take it in their mouth or whatever, because they know vessels are not yet washed. So they know vessels will be washed by 4:40 or 4:45. Then only they will take. Very important, devotees must be absolutely careful that no hair falls in and contaminates the offering. Matajis have long hair and they tend to fall off. That's why Matajis are supposed to put pallu, or they also have this. They have chef, they call, no? So they have their kind of cap also. For men also it is recommended. Even in our 2-timer kitchen, those who cook for brahmachari, there also they have that thing. All cooks, they wear, what is it called? cap kind of cap only, so that hair will not fall on the ground or especially in the foodstuff. If hair falls in the foodstuff, you cannot offer it. It's contaminated. High contamination. Similarly, if cockroach falls, some insects falls, no question. In your college mess, my God, if you go inside, what all fall, you don't know. If you see that, you will fall down in the kitchen only there. Very horrible. But because these are all offered to the deities, one has to be very clean. Absolute caution must be exercised in this regard. Devotees must keep their hair well covered while cooking. So you must have seen all devotees do that. Okay, so some of the things that we discussed. Apart from this, some more considerations. So we discussed one point that after bhoga is offered, we should wash the plates, and then only we can start serving and honoring also. Till then it should not be done. Many times we are in hurry, he will wash. Ideally it is not to be done. In temple it is very strict standard. Here also we maintain it, isn't it? We have that standard. So just little delay of 5 minutes. Those who are offering bhoga, they should come well before time. So that, otherwise what happens, sometimes college is there at 2 o'clock, let's say, and devotees have to leave at 1:45, and serving starts at 1:15, and offering is delayed. Then devotees are tensed that college is there, what to do, and then somebody says, no, just sir, he will wash meanwhile. So like that, that's why offering should be done on time at least, if not before time, so that this kind of crisis situations don't arise. Bhoga brought from outside and offered in the kitchen, this is not proper. We should not bring some foodstuffs from outside and offer in the kitchen. You have your own separate altar. If you have your need, you may do. Ideally that is not to be done, because it is cooked by materialistic people. The consciousness is there, as we already discussed through that sadhu and that Mataji story. Best is not to eat any foodstuff cooked by materialistic people. In sweet meat shops, in so many shops, we may say this is not having onion garlic, this is pure, there is no meat in this. What's the problem? No, you cannot take it, because it is cooked by materialists. Their consciousness is gone inside. It's very dangerous. Better not take. Pure devotees cooking, that is very good. There was one Narahari Chakravarti, not Narahari Sarkar, Chamara Dulai, not that friend of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but 2 generations later. His name was Ghanashyam. He was in Vrindavan serving Radha Govindji deity in Rupa Goswami's Radha Govind Dev temple. This is 2 generations later. Then he was a young man. He would get so many services he would do. He would get dry wood from the forest near Yamuna. He would get the water of Yamuna for the deity's service. The pujari there said, the cooks, that please come and cook for their lordships, for Radha Govind Dev. He said, no, I am very fallen soul. I am not fit. I will serve. He was very humble. In temple, Radha Govind Dev temple, how many of you had been in Vrindavan? So you know. So above the temple, we don't have fans like this. They're natural, that fan cloth. So the rope comes in the temple hall, somewhere in the middle. So he would enter from the door up to that point, and he would take the rope and he would pull it and give fanning he would do for the Radha Govind Dev. He would not even go close to the door of the altar. No. This was the last point up to that fan. Only service he would do. The pujaris tried inviting him for cooking. He did not come only. So the years passed by like that. One day what happened? In doing all the services in the night, he went home. He had simple kutir, so hermitage kind of. Before sleeping, he cooked wonderful khichdi, sabji and some sweet for Govind Dev. And in the mind only he offered, and he slept. There what happened? In Jaipur, the king there, king of Jaipur, he got Govind Dev in the dream. And then he said, "Oh king, get up. And the king got up. And in the dream only he said, just now one great devotee called Ghanashyam, he offered me wonderful khichdi, sabji and sweet. It was so delicious. What can I tell you? It's out of the world. I have never tasted food stuff like this. You please make sure that tomorrow onwards, this devotee cooks for me every day in the Radha Govind Dev temple. And Lord disappeared. So the king got up and he was wondering, what is that? How Govind Dev came? I was so fortunate. But then he saw next to him on the table there was a golden plate, and on that khichdi was there, sabji was there, and sweets was there. And he was wondering, Are, this is what Lord said. Maybe it is the same. So he just tasted that khichdi and it was such a out of the world experience. He thought, now I understood why Lord is mad after this. It's really very tasty, sure enough. So he woke up the queen, he fed her also, princess also, and some other ministers and all. They were all like next day early morning he got up, took bath. They all came all the way from Jaipur to Vrindavan. They took darshan of Govind Dev. As soon as the king came out of temple, he said, where is that Ghanesham? And all the people were wondering, Ghanesham? How does king know Ghanesham? King will not know all these names of citizens. That too, this is in Vrindavan. So they said, here he is, in the campus. You have seen Radha Govinda temple. So there he was cleaning the floor of the outside premises of the temple. Because of that dust had been raised, his body was covered with dust. Then king, as soon as he saw, he is Ghanesham, immediately king bowed down, Panchang Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namo. As the king bent down, immediately queen bent down, the princes, the ministers, and all those who had come. And all were wondering, the news went to the pujaris that king has bowed down to Ghanesham. They came running, they saw, they were wondering. They knew Ghanesham is great devotee, but how king is bowing down? So they asked, what happened, king? Why are you bowing down to our Ghanesham? So the king said, he is the one who offered yesterday night khichdi to Lord Govind Dev, and khichdi and sweets and sabji. So Lord relished it so much that he wants him to cook today onwards for the Lord. Then immediately the pujari said, no, he did not cook. In fact, we have tried so many times. He never came only inside the kitchen. He only offers wood and water, etc. He said, no, that was in the mind that he offered, but Lord accepted that, and Lord is very happy. So he should cook today onward. And the Ghanesham was wondering, and he went back, but the wall of the Govinda temple, he cannot go behind. He was wondering, what is this? Then all devotees, pujaris, everybody said, now nothing doing. Now Lord only wants you to cook, you have to come. So first time in life, he entered in the kitchen of Radha Govinda temple. For so many years, he had been only supplying wood and water, etc. He entered and he started cooking khichdi, etc. It was wonderful. Then the news spread, so many people came from all around to honor that prasadam. Like that, years passed by, he became old. Then the pujaris and others requested him that you have heard so many pastimes of Gopal Bhatta Goswami and Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, Shyamanand Pandit, which many devotees don't know. So why don't you write literatures about them, as we have heard in Parampara? Then as an order, he took that service and he wrote. So the most famous book that he wrote was Bhakti Ratnakar, having 14 chapters. Amazing book. I read it one page, second page, all the way 600 pages I read. It was so amazing, I felt I should read it again. Again I went to first page, again I read. This is only once that happened to me. That any book I read, and again I read the same book. I read, but sometimes I read after 2, 3, 5, 10 years. It was immediate. So same book I read continuously 2 times. Very amazing book. He also has written Srinivas Charitra, Narottam Vilas. Narottam Vilas, if you read, you will cry tears. What was the state of condition of the associates of Mahaprabhu after Mahaprabhu left this world? How they were devastated because of feeling separation from Mahaprabhu. So thus we have to make sure that we don't bring anything from outside shops, etc. and offer it in the kitchen, etc. In case you have to eat for some reason, you may. In fact, you should not also serve it to others. In our temple, Radhesham Prabhu made policy, when the brahmacharis go home, mother out of love may give some food stuff. He may offer to Krishna at home. It is prasad, but it is only for him, cooked by his mother. He should not bring it inside the temple campus. Or if at all he brings it, he should not give it to any brahmachari. He should take himself. Radhesham Prabhu is very strict. In fact, he doesn't like brahmachari borrowing the bottle of another brahmachari for drinking water also. Everybody has to have his own bottle. But he cannot borrow bottle of any brahmachari. Very strict. Amazing. Then prasadam serving etiquettes also, you all know. Basically the serving spoon and all should not touch our plate or foodstuffs or your hand and all that. Some distance should be kept, but it should not be kept poured from the top, 1 feet, 2 feet, because all splash over. It is not good. So one should use one's intelligence. Prabhupada says that one devotee should use his intelligence, and if he doesn't have intelligence, he should borrow intelligence from another devotee. Prabhupada statement. So serve it in such a way that the devotee who is honoring, he is not in tension. Also, it should not fall on the ground. At the end of honoring prasadam, if you find some prasadam while serving to you fell down, or you while eating it went out, so it is your responsibility before getting up to collect all that, whatever it is, put it in your plate, go, and where the next to the sink there is that dustbin, or what you call, waste bin. So you should put it there properly. Many times devotees do like this and it goes out of the waste bin. Okay, no problem. Somebody will clean it up. This is all absent-mindedness. You will sleep in your japa because you are ignorant fellow, because you are very neglectful. You have to do it very carefully. Put it there. And in Warangal, I had put one laminated sheet there. Devotees, Hare Krishna devotees, please make sure not a single solid prasadam particle gets blocked in the sink and causing inconvenience to other devotees, something like that. So Radhesham Guru came once, and he, after taking prasadam, he went to that sink and he read that. He said, "This must be Sundar Sham Prabhu." My God, such a strict, such precise, making sure that nobody creates havoc or disturbance there. And I was feeling so awkward there because other devotees were smiling. Hari Bol, Radhesham Prabhu knows how he knows, because it is not written that it is written by Sundar Shamdas. So he knows. One should be extremely careful. As much as you are careful, that much you are in the mode of goodness. We should not eat outside food, no question. If you are eating, don't give it to others. Prasadam brought from home and giving to others, that is also not proper. You take it, your mother has cooked. You have no other option at home. You'll have to cook. And best is to preach little bit to mother and make her one rounder at least. How many of your mothers are chanting one round at least? Very good. How many of mothers are chanting 16 rounds? Oh, great. Good. At least one rounder she could be. Or sister maybe, if she could be one rounder and she can cook then. Then also we should not touch each other's feet also. That is not good. Because you may show your humility. And if only that same devotee tells you, Prabhu, could you please come for serving? Oh no. That I will never do. So that shows that you are not so subordinate, so feeling humble in front of that devotee. So what's the point in touching the feet? Certainly that is sign of humility, but it shows. You understand? Like I was telling her, Prabhu, no, don't give me gulab jamun. No. Your actions are revealing that you are asking him, come on, give more gulab jamun. And you are saying, no, don't give. Or that, I love you. Words, I love you. Where is the love here? Maybe you were saying, I kill you. By mistake you said, I love you. So actions and words, they should match also. Feelings should be there. Dealing with sacred paraphernalia of Lord also, these items are there. We should not just touch them. Ideally, while we are sitting like this and all, we should not touch our feet also. As soon as we sit, we should cover our feet with dhoti. And then also we should not ideally touch on the dhoti also. And what to speak of, some people are, while chanting, their feet are exposed and they are pressing their toes and all that. And then afterwards, after round is over, they pull like this. So this is all absent-mindedness, ignorance. Such people will sleep in japa and all problem. We have to know all our defects. Some senior devotee should tell how to improve also. Not carrying own plate in kitchen, that also should not be done. You have no right to go there. Or if at all you go, wait outside and some devotee from inside can come out and serve, but don't take your plate inside because it is jhuta. Deal with Tulsi Maharani and her clothes carefully. So we have, I think, her clothes over there. So we should do achman ideally before opening the curtain or altar, and there also touching before that we should do achman. Maintain extreme degree of cleanliness. and reverentially you approach. Vando mui savadhanamate. Then you will make lot of progress, quick progress. Otherwise, if you are casual, then casualty will happen. One should be very careful in life. Okay, any question?
Regarding water bottle, why should we not use a water bottle?
You can ask Radhesham Prabhu. Basically, Brahminical standard. So, how can we use? Like, we don't use each other's plate. We are not supposed to use each other's bedding also. We should not even walk over others' bedding because it is contaminated. Where we have taken prasadam, we are